joined now live from Sydney by Tom Gorman. He's the CEO of Brambles, whose shares have surged as much as 7.75% this morning in Sydney after the company reported its earnings. So, hello, Tom. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, first of all, we should tell people what your company does. You guys make containers or pallets which are used by retailers to carry around their merchandise. Let's start with this election result, though. Which result is better for business, Tom?
Well, look, I think first you have to put in context the Brambles business. We're a very large global footprint. We're a $4.1 billion company, and we have only about 10% of our business actually in Australia. So our focus here is to make sure that whichever party gets into power here in Australia over this weekend, that either party is going to keep a focus on good fiscal management with a focus on growth. We think that Australia has really managed its way quite well through the global downturn, and we'd like to see that those disciplines continued regardless of the party that wins. So
Julia Gillard and the Labour Party have managed through the downturn. They've managed the economy, but is that down to good fortune, or is that have they been good stewards of the economy? I mean, which government will be better for the future here?
Look, I'm probably not the best person to really articulate which party or which side of the aisle would be best to lead Australia into the future. I think from our perspective at Brambles, whichever party it is, we really want to see someone that continues to focus on growth. We think this is a fantastic country. It's a good place to do business. We think in our own business we have plenty of opportunity for growth here in Australia. And again, political leadership that's focused on growth and good fiscal management is important to us.
Okay, Tom. Now, your shares are higher today, so investors clearly like your results. But I'm curious here because the second half of the year, the result was little changed from last year. You're losing customers like PepsiCo in the U.S. Business is being hit by competition in Europe and Asia. Tell us what's happening here.
Yeah, well, in fact, the result that we released today, which I think you're correct to say that the market has responded positively to it, actually showed that we're growing our business or net market share in every market that we participate in. So our two primary businesses of CHEP and Recall, we've grown net new wins in each one of our regions around the world in the CHEP business, and we've also continued to add new business on the Recall side. I think the thing that's most encouraging for us is we have had some competitive pressures in our CHEP USA business, and since we instituted a major quality initiative back in October in the CHEP business in the Americas, which we refer to as the Better Everyday program, when we kicked that off in the U.S. in October, since that period of time, we've been adding customers. We've added about 18 million of net new contracts to the business in the U.S., and I think the market has responded positively to the growth signals that we're sending.
So tell us about the big growth markets for the future. Are we talking India and China here?
Well, look, I think our portfolio is really well balanced. Like many global companies around the world, we are focused on the high growth and emerging economies. So we have a very good business in China, and that business is growing substantially. Yep. In fact, the combined China and India business for us grew at 92% in the fiscal year 10 period compared to the prior year. So that remains very important. Central and Eastern Europe is also very important for us. We've opened a new office in Turkey this past year, and we've been able to add two big names to our list of customers in that part of the world. And again, Latin America is strong. We grew at over 30% in Brazil.
We're going to have to leave it there. So sorry. Thank you very much for joining us. Tom Gorman, CEO of Brambles.